Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So, if you're watching this, it's a sad episode. I am getting rid of my Jeep on Bring a Trailer, and as much as I don't want to get rid of this beast of a vehicle, probably the most iconic American SUV ever made, I just had to make the decision to move on. And essentially it came down to, as you can see here, I bought a beautiful loaded to the gills Ram Rebel GT 2023. And essentially what it came down to for me, I'm going to turn this off now, was the fact that with 8,600 miles on the clock, this vehicle is just too nice for me to be using for my business. You know, I tow a lot. Well, I don't tow a lot, but I tow enough with equipment. You can see it on the channel. I tow quite a bit with this vehicle, and I do a lot of truck stuff, you know, pick up lumber, pick up parts, pick up everything. And I can't put it in the back of the vehicle because the vehicle is just too nice. So I'm always constantly having to drag a trailer with me, which isn't an issue, but we live in northern Wisconsin, and because of that, the Jeep, while it is fantastic for all-wheel drive inclement weather, I can't afford to be spending money on tires that are winter tires and, you know, summer performance tires. You could try an all-season tire on this, but to be completely honest with you, my parents have tried that with their Durango RT Tow and Go, and it works to a certain point. It almost works better on the Durango than it does with the Jeep because that's a longer wheelbase and it's got less horsepower. But this vehicle is just so high in horsepower that it just doesn't work. And where we live constantly, you know, we get a ton of snow in northern Wisconsin. So I'm finding myself plowing through snow quite frequently, and it just doesn't work. And another point being, to get to my business, I maintain my own driveway. So I constantly have to plow through snow and anything like that. You know, when the county comes through and plows up against your driveway, you have to get through that. And I don't want to have to keep digging basically the snow out of the way to you know, protect the front bumper, essentially. So I don't know. There's a combination of everything. If you know what I'm talking about, you realize why I have to let this go. And it's not because I don't like it. This is a top, I would say this, between this and my Corvette, my C6 Corvette, this is the most fun vehicle I've ever owned in my life. It's a toss-up between those two. It really is. This vehicle is so fast. It goes 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. I've done it in 4 seconds before. It's on the trip computer. It is amazing how this just catches, how Chrysler has built a machine that corners so well and that grips the road so well. This will blow the doors off of a Challenger or a Charger any day on the streets, because of the fact that it's all-wheel drive, because it's got that Bilstein adjustable suspension on it, these dinner plate, bigger than dinner plate Brembo brakes. You know, it really is a fantastic truck. And I will say it's a truck. I mean, this is the best product up until the TRX. This is the best product that Chrysler ever made, in my opinion. I mean, the WK2 has mean looks. It has great technology. It has power beyond belief. And it's got stopping power to back that power up. And not to mention the ZF transmission in here, the 8-speed, hands down, I believe it's the best automatic transmission that, and I'm not talking about dual clutch, anything like that. I'm just talking about a torque converter automatic that is on the market. They're still using this transmission. It's fantastic. It's durable, it's reliable, and it is quick shifting. This is within, I think, 100 milliseconds of a Nissan GTR. It is unfreaking believable. I can't say enough words about how good this Jeep is. If my wife were able to buy this Jeep and get rid of her Jeep 4xe, which she will never do, I would have her do that. But she won't. She likes her 4xe, and she likes the fuel efficiency of that. And guys, at the end of the day, it just makes sense for me to get rid of this. The max legal towing weight on here is 7,200 pounds. The max legal towing weight of that Ram Rebel GT is 11,500. So at the end of the day, when I am towing my skid steer, it's legal with the truck. It's not legal with the Jeep SRT or any equipment that goes over 7,000 pounds, which I do tow, a few times a year. So at the end of the day, I just need to let it go. And I've gone back and forth. Was it a mistake to buy this vehicle? No, it wasn't, because at least, I'm young. I got it out of my way. I got to experience, honestly, the highest performing SUV of its era. And I'm very happy I was able to purchase it and experience that 392 engine, have some fun with it. I think from now on, I learned my lesson that with the work that I do with owning a golf course, it's a truck gig. It really is. I mean, you can see I've got a snowmobile trailer. I've got a car hauler. I mean, I haul fertilizer around, chemicals, chicken food for my chickens. I mean, just every little bit of anything, wood, irrigation supplies, golf clubs, anything you can think of. And it just helps to have a bed in a truck that you can put that stuff in and you don't have to feel bad. I mean, you can see this vehicle is so clean. This would be a great collector's piece, and it deserves to go to a home with a collector with it. I mean, you can see here, I've got original floor mats. I've got some extra carbon fiber appliques. Everything works extremely well. This was the most option Jeep SRT you can buy back in 2016, minus the rear TVs, which it didn't come with. Otherwise, this was it. I mean, you could not get a Grand Cherokee that was optioned out any higher. And for me, honestly, with the vehicles that I have right now, I don't need a super high performance, sort of utilitarian vehicle. That Ram Rebel GT with the paddle shifters and the cold air intake and the exhaust, that's all I need. That truly is. It makes it fun to drive, and it's engaging enough. Man engaging with machine is awesome, and that Ram Rebel GT allows me to do it. So it's definitely no TRX, but it allows me to do it. And no, it's not nearly as fast as this. I mean, you're looking at probably a 3-second 0 to 60 difference here, 4 seconds to 7 seconds. So it's definitely not nearly as fast. But it allows me to continue pushing my business forward. It allows me to reach my goals, and that's essentially where I'm at with it. And not to mention, I do a lot of equipment hauling in the wintertime. This is not suitable for wintertime towing, guys, unless you have a different set of rims and tires, which I can't stick $4,000 into rims and tires and then buy another set of tires for $2,000. I can't justify $6,000 in rims and tires into this vehicle. I can't. And that's essentially what you would need to do to have a safe wintertime vehicle, to get some winter tires. And essentially that's why, my fiance has that 4xe for the winter and getting through these northern Wisconsin snowstorms. But this has been just a truly tremendous truck. And at the end of the day, it's sort of I wouldn't say it's a grow-up moment, because it is and it isn't. The Ram truck was super expensive. I paid a lot of money for that, and it is what it is. Vehicles are high priced right now. I didn't think, 5 years ago I would have to pay over $55,000 for a truck, even a new truck. But again, here we are. But yeah, it's just, it needed to be done. It's a grow up moment. I had my fun with this vehicle. If you live in a city or if you live in a suburban area with a family and you have a boat that you want to tow to the lake, perfect. This is awesome for you. But if you do any sort of utilitarian stuff, unless you buy a higher mileage one of these, I could not ever get myself to use this as a utilitarian vehicle because it is just so beautiful and so pretty, and thus why I am selling it and why I made the decision to essentially move back into my fourth Ram truck and hopefully be extremely happy with that. And it is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Only one in the country with the specs that I wanted, so I'm very happy to find that used, of course. But the Jeep has been tremendous. I'm going to be extremely sad to see it go. At least I can still have some sort of flavor of this vehicle with my parents' Durango RT Tow and Go. But yeah, this has been, I'm going to just put it this way. This has been the most exciting vehicle I've ever owned and the most fun to drive vehicle I have ever owned. But as we grow up and get older, our needs change and our vehicles change, and essentially that's where we're at. And I'm going to leave it at that. So with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more Mopar content. I have not left the Mopar community. I know I have a Solstice GXP. I know I have a C6 Corvette, but Mopar is always my main brand. So we'll see you in the next one.